Hi everyone, in this video I'll be covering the sound and media setup for Sunday service at True Vine Community Church. This will cover powering on the system, how to run it during Sunday service, and how to shut it down afterwards. We will not be covering fine tuning in this video. That will be covered separately or on a one-on-one basis. So this video is covering both sound and media. Because they're independencies, we will discuss what responsibilities will be for each role. For locations, we have the sound setup, which is up front. We have the media table, where the sound engineer will also be during service. We have the nursery, where we are playing the service through a speaker for folks who are in the nursery. And we also have the flex/nursing room downstairs, where we'll be streaming the live stream for folks who are down there. It could serve as overflow as well. So let's start with the sound setup and how to turn that on for Sunday service. Let's first talk about the speakers. The speakers are last on and first off. So to prevent popping, we don't want the speakers to be on when the system is being powered on, and we also don't want them to be on when the system is being powered off, because you will get a pop and that could potentially damage the speaker. So for the sound system, first thing we're going to do is we're going to turn on the power conditioner. Here we have the power conditioner and the mixer and also the router, which is what we use to communicate with the mixer from the iPad. So at this point, everything was shut off in a good state. All we have to do here is toggle the power for the power conditioner, and that will power on both the mixer and also the wireless router. So we can confirm, we see the light on the mixer, there's an orange light behind the phone's dial. We see that this is being powered on as well. So at this stage, everything looks good here. So the components here that require power, in addition to what I mentioned, also include this transmitter, which is transmitting signal from the mixer to the laptop or a device that's a receiver that's at the laptop end. And we also have a Bluetooth receiver. We will wait until the media laptop is powered on to turn on the Bluetooth receiver. I find that the connection works better when the laptop is on first, and then this is powered on. So we will come back to that. And as far as responsibilities go, we'll have sound turn on this setup, and media will turn on the Bluetooth once that laptop is up. So at this point, we can turn on the speakers. We are looking at the back of the speaker. There's the power switch here. So we will turn that on, and we will do that for both speakers. You see confirmation of power here, and there's also going to be a blue light in the front that will show once the speakers have turned on. We will do the same for the other speaker. A note while we're up here, we have 6 monitors. They're labeled with the bus that they are connected to. So from a control standpoint, make sure that whoever's using monitors, that particular bus is not muted, and from there, you could also adjust and fine-tune what you want the mix to be going through that particular bus. While we're here, I'm gonna power on the laptop. We'll get that going. Actually, it was just asleep. We'll look at the iPad. All right, so at the iPad, we access the mixer through mixing station. So everything appears to be running. Let me see if I can go to where we have to find it. Okay, so it's reconnecting. So it's reconnected now. We're looking left to right. So we probably should change the order here, but we have vocal right, vocal middle, and vocal left. And the mic in the back is the backup vocal. Just make sure you unmute whatever channels will be used for that given week. Make sure the main speaker is unmuted so that sound can come through. And for the visual buses, as they're being used for a monitor, to make sure those are off mute so the monitors will have sound coming through them. Quick note while we're here using the mixer is to adjust the gain to a good level if you need to get volume up or down, and then use the sliders to adjust real time. So that's the best practice, to have the gain to maximize your signal to noise, and then use the slider for volume. But we'll have a separate session to cover that, either live or recording. The live stream mix will be coming directly from what is going through the main mix to the laptop. As long as the main speaker is off mute, that signal will come to the laptop. All right, let's move on to the laptop. Note that the pin is noted on the laptop, and also note that the Bluetooth device that's up front is P3. We will go to the Bluetooth device, turn that on now that the laptop is on. And the Bluetooth device, we turn this on by moving the switch from 0 to 1. All right, and that is on. Blue light's solid, so it is connected to the laptop. So we are all good at this end at this point. Back at the laptop, I'm gonna check Bluetooth devices, show Bluetooth devices, and looks like P3, we are connected for audio. So we're good with streaming audio from the laptop. We will download the slides from the weekly order of worship. All right, so download the slide for this Sunday. All right, download is ready. I'm gonna throw that over here. Note that I already had it saved. All right, we will close that. So we'll get the slides open. Let's turn on the TVs. We have 2 remotes. They are labeled left and right. They can be turned on with a single remote. So I'm just gonna grab the left remote, the power button, and of course, they are not both turning on. All right, now let's try it with the right remote. Let's see if we get them both on. So this is where it could take a little bit of toggling finesse or to walk up close to the TVs. All right, so they are both turned on with a single remote. Unfortunately, we do need both remotes. Sometimes you control both with the same remote. Sometimes you can't. We need to put both inputs onto HDMI 1. So from the back, I found that you can actually do both from the same remote. Unfortunately, right now it is not cooperating with me. HDMI 1, which is the receiver. All right, so both screens at this point are displaying the computer's output. Back at the laptop, what to do is go into slideshow, and it is now displaying the cover slide on the TVs. All right, so we will minimize this for now, and we will open up OBS for the live stream. And we will bring the PowerPoint back up later. So OBS is up. Note that we are zoomed in to frame the stage. So that's already set. Real quick on OBS, you can toggle between screen only, camera and screen, and camera only. Note that camera only eliminates the zoom. Most of the time we'll be using camera and screen or screen only. So audio, we don't have any audio coming in at the moment because no one is using the mic. However, if audio was coming in, you would see that the mic/aux would have signal. If you ever want to mute, so an example of when you would want to mute is during the time of greeting, we would mute so that the audience of the live stream does not need to hear what's going on in the room. And we would put up the slide that we are going through, or we have our time of greeting, just so that the audience knows what's going on. We will go off mute. All right, so from a arrangement standpoint, it's going to have OBS on one side, PowerPoint on the other side. So they'll be side by side. So what I'm going to do is start the live stream. We'll manage broadcast, and note that you may have to change the date. So we have June 28th. So just put whatever date it's in there. I recommend just hit remember these settings, just in case you need to restart, you'll already have it saved. We're going to create broadcast and start stream. All right, the broadcast is going. So we now are streaming. I'll put camera and screen. Now we will move on to the other areas that need to be turned on. The audio from service is played in the nursery through this little PowerWorks powered speaker. So the power for this is turned on through a power strip that is behind this little shelf. So there's a power strip there. There's a power button which needs to be turned on, and you'll know whether it's turned on by looking at the wireless receiver here, which is receiving the signal from the mixer. So that light is on, we are good. If volume needs to be adjusted, it could be adjusted by turning the volume dial on the speaker, which normally is configured, but in this case, it was turned down. So just adjust the dial as needed. But the power for this speaker is being sent through the power strip, so by toggling the power on the power strip, this would turn on and off accordingly. The TV in the flex/nursery room needs to be turned on. It will be displaying the live stream. So we will go to YouTube. Enter there. All right, we'll use a TrueVine account. All right, so for now, we still have the search. And unfortunately, the previous searches have not been saved. So we'll search for TrueVine, and TrueVine Church will get us there. Note the highlighted box, that's the one that it is on. Gets a little difficult when these logos are white. So let's choose TrueVine Community Church. Just make sure it is displaying the live stream. There we go. All right, let's move back to the sanctuary. We will leave this running for the entirety of the service. We are back at the laptop. So just a couple of notes for service or time of greeting. To have that set on screen only during that time. And I would just keep it on as well while the kids are getting up to keep that shown. And then once Pastor Nate starts addressing the congregation again, then we go back to camera and screen. All right, so we get to the end of service. So when we're at the end of service, please display the slide for newcomers to welcome them, welcome all. So keep that on display. We're going to stop the stream right after the benediction. At that point, OBS can be closed. And we will play music. So as soon as the benediction is done, we can start playing music. The way we would do that is to go to music, or youtube.com, or YouTube Music. We have a playlist set up for TrueVine Community Church. These are some songs that I picked based off of what we have sang here at church. This is where sound and media go hand in hand. So what I'm going to do is start playing. We'll start playing, and just to help keep things interesting, we can hit shuffle. All right, so what you see now, or should see, is that channel 16 has input. Channel 16 is the streaming audio from the computer. So we'll bring that up. First, just for the sake of this demonstration, we'll make sure the main speakers are unmuted, but they would be unmuted or off mute. All right, channel 16, good. Just bring the volume up slowly. All right, and this is also a good demo of when we would use the gain or reduce the gain. So if you see how when I brought the gain down, the signal did not go as high. So for the person who's doing sound, when you need to adjust volumes during practice, so during the live session, I would not recommend playing with the gain because it is very sensitive. But if the volumes are very low, levels very low, bring the gain up first and then the slider. So we don't need the music to be loud. So in this case, for the post-service music, we just want to help with the atmosphere. We don't want it so loud where people cannot hear each other talking. So just keep the volume low. In this case, I might actually just bring the gain down a little bit, just so we don't ramp up too fast when we bring the volume up from 0. All right. So as far as our playlist goes, we have about 2 hours of music, so it's pretty safe to just let it run, or 1 hour and 57 minutes. So we could just let this run until it's time to shut everything down. All right, so now it is time to shut everything down. Let's mute channel 16, mute the main speakers. At this point, we are done with the iPad. We can shut off the TVs. All right, in this case, one remote, shut them both off. Laptop, we can stop the streaming audio. Really not much to do here aside from just close the applications. We don't need them up. And we can just let the laptop go to sleep. On this end, we could leave the power on. However, I do recommend just turning it off. There's no need to have everything on the entire week. iPad, I plugged it in, but really it can charge during service because the iPad could just stay here. For the sound system, first step is to turn off the 2 speakers. We will turn them off. 1, 2. There are 2 things to turn off here. One is the power conditioner, and the second is the Bluetooth receiver. Turn it off. The Bluetooth receiver runs on a battery. It's not a big deal. If it is left on, the battery will just die because the USB power source is not providing power to it. Not a big deal. So forget that. It is okay. It'll be fine when we have to use it next Sunday because it will start charging as soon as we turn on the power conditioner. Move on to the nursery. In the nursery, we just need to turn off the power strip and confirm it is off because the light on the receiver is off. Last thing to do is just to turn off the TV in the flex/nursing room. That's it for this video. If you have any questions, please let me know. Thank you for serving at True Vine Community Church. Bye for now.